What's going on, guys? It's Mr. Doggy Cat back here with another Hypixel Skyblock episode, and in today's episode, I'm going to be discussing what I have going on in my island, what my current plans are, and I'm also going to talk about Enderman Slayer a little bit, because there's not enough stuff on Enderman Slayer for it to be a whole video. So let's begin by talking about my island. So right now, I am working on getting a Juju shortbow, which is an Enderman Slayer 5 weapon. It's an Enderman Slayer 5 weapon, and it's really good in dungeons. It's like the second best bow in dungeons, I think. Because then an Enderman Slayer 7 weapon called the Terminator is like the best bow. And so yeah, that's why I want the bow, so that I can start playing archer in dungeons effectively instead of using my last breath, which isn't a short bow. It's still a really good weapon, but it isn't a short bow. So, and what you need for the Juju short bow is 16 stacks of enchanted obsidian, 32 enchanted quartz blocks, which is like, it's 32 times 160 enchanted quartz, which I don't know the math for that, but that's a lot. So that's why I have obsidian minions and quartz minions. I did the math, and with the minions I have, it's going to take about 30 days to get all the materials I need. And I've had these minions AFKing for 7 days, I think. So, yeah, I'm 7/30ths of the way there. And then also, you're also going to need 3 stacks of enchanted string, because it is a bow. So that's why I have my lovely spider minion here. And yeah, the painful part about this is getting the last ingredient, which is these. I'll talk about these in a second. I may or may not have forgotten about them. But the null ovoids are made by 2 stacks of null spheres, which means you need 64 stacks of null spheres, which is like really difficult to get because a tier 4 boss drops like 100 to 150. So if you do the math, that's like 40 tier 4 bosses, give or take, depending on how lucky you are. And so yeah, I have a chest here. I've been doing a few, but yeah, it's just painful to do them because I can't kill them on my own because of how bad the like escalating damage and health is. So I'm not saying it's like there's anything wrong with it, it's just like really insanely difficult. So also, I said I'd mention this, those Eyes of Ender, you need 32 stacks of enchanted Ender Pearls, which I have almost 32 stacks. And then you need, I think it's 32 stacks of blaze powder as well. So that one isn't super difficult to get. So yeah, I think that's it for my current goals. Once I get the Juju shortbow, I'm definitely going to be trying to run more dungeons floor 7 in order to drop better armor and to drop a Necron's blade, which is like one of the rarest drops, if not the rarest drop for F7. And so basically what the Necron's blade allows you to do is it allows you to make a Hyperion, which is the best mage weapon in the game that I know of. There is a really strong weapon in Master Mode Floor 7, but I don't know if it's actually a mage weapon or not because I haven't looked up anything about it because I'm nowhere close to Master Mode Floor 7. So, yeah. But other than that, those are just my current plans at the moment. I will say I have been mining a lot of cobble because I've been trying to get all of these minions to have super compactors. Right now I have 19 of 21. These are the only 2 minions that do not have super compactors. All the rest of mine do. And it's just going to be really nice because then I won't have to actually come and collect the minions every once in a while. Because they'll make everything for me. Because once they get to 160 enchanted nether quartz, then they'll make it into an enchanted nether quartz block, which is what I need. And then of course the obsidian minions just give me obsidian. That doesn't compact into anything else that I know of. I should probably check that. Obsidian collection. Yeah, that doesn't compact into anything else, so we should be good in that department. And yeah, so let's move to Enderman Slayer. Okay guys, so I came to the end for Enderman Slayer because, you know, it's Enderman Slayer. And yeah, let me just go over all of the stats of the Enderman bosses, except for tier 5, because I haven't unlocked that yet. Actually, I don't even know if there is a tier 5. Let me go over all the stats for the bosses, and I will kind of explain the gear you need to kill them. I know the gear you need to, like, for you to carry other people in them. I'm not exactly sure what gear you need in order to, like, survive them on your own. But we'll see how this goes. So, let's go into this menu. Void Gloom Seraph. So, tier 1, it only has 300,000 health and does 1200 damage per second. It's pretty easy to kill if you just don't let it hit you, because then you won't take a lot of damage. I will say sometimes they teleport behind you, which is like really annoying. But you just have to make sure you're always paying attention. I normally fight them in third person because I don't want to get like snuck up on and stuff. But it's only 300,000 health, so I mean, I think I first started doing it with a livid dagger, and that worked out well. And now that I have a giant sword, it works out way better. And the first armor I was using was Strong Dragon, I believe. It took me about 30 seconds to kill it with a Livid Dagger and Strong Dragon. And now I have full Shadow Assassin. I do have the helmet, I just don't have it on. But I have full Shadow Assassin, which basically, if I have my accessory power set to crit chance, then I get 100% crit chance, which means I get approximately 40,000 damage a hit. And so that's really useful because the Zealot Bruisers, which are in the Dragon's Nest, and then you just go down here, you get to the Zealot Bruiser hideout. The Zealot Bruisers have 6,500 health, and so doing 40,000 damage a hit is really useful because you can two-shot them and they can't really do anything about it. I will say, I have my accessory power tuned to crit chance, but I normally have it tuned to intelligence and ability damage for dungeons, so yes, if you're going like Berserker in dungeons or something, having the highest crit chance possible is great. I also think if you are going Berserker or Archer, you get increased crit chance, so that's always good as well. And so yeah, but having crit chance at the highest one at 100 is really helpful. So that was tier 1, and a long side note. Let's go to tier 2. So tier 2 has 12 million health and does 5,000 damage per second. So basically, I guess I should explain the hit shield. So all of the Void Gloom Seraphs, they have a hit shield at 100%, 66%, and 33% health. And basically what that means is so for a tier 1, I think it's 15 hits before you can start damaging it again. For tier 2, I don't know what it is. For tier 4, I think it's 100. So somewhere in between there. And so that's what the hit shield is. The Yang glyphs, basically once the Slayer gets below 50% health, it'll start throwing beacons on the ground, and you need to stand next to them, or I think sometimes standing on top of them works. But I do advise always having some remnants of the eye, I think is what it's called. Let me see, where's it at? Yeah, remnant of the eyes on you, because sometimes when you stand next to the Yang glyphs, it doesn't work, and they will insta-kill you. So you gotta be careful about that, make sure you're always watching out. In order to kill a tier 2 Void Gloom, I would say you probably are going to need Necron armor, and maybe even Final Destination armor, which gives you defense against Endermen once you start killing them. So I will say you'll probably need one of those two. I think I've tried it in Necron armor, and I haven't been able to kill it just because I haven't been able to do enough damage. And I know Final Destination armor doesn't help you that much with doing a lot of damage, so you might also need where is it at? I think it's this Vorpal Katana, because this does like a lot of damage if you do the ability, and so yeah. You might need this, not sure, but that is tier 2. Now, tier 3, you add the weird heads. You can clear them by looking at them. I will say sometimes, whenever I'm doing tier 4, which also has the heads, whenever I look at the heads, they sometimes don't disappear, and then also they sometimes don't show up on my screen. For some reason, I don't know if I'm just blind or if I'm missing something, but yeah, just make sure you're watching out for those heads because they do a lot of damage. So he has 50 million health and does 12,000 damage per second. With this, you're going to need Final Destination armor, at least 10,000 kills, I think, and definitely you're probably definitely going to need a Vorpal Katana for this, maybe even a Juju shortbow. I don't know if those are actually good against the Slayers, but I'm assuming it is. So yeah, that's how you do this. And then how you do tier 4, 210 million health, 21,000 damage per second. It doesn't add any special effects, but basically how you kill this is you need like 20,000, I think it's 20,000 to 50,000 kills on Final Destination, and you're gonna need like a Terminator or something. I don't even know if the Vorpal Katana is enough to kill it. It might be, but I'm not sure, because I've never tried it. And so yeah, that's what you need for tier 4, maybe. Yeah, this hasn't released yet. So basically, that is how you do them on your own. Now, if you want to carry somebody else in all of these, tier 1 is like really easy. You just need normal stuff. Tier 2, I advise getting like, what was it called? I can't remember what the armor's called, but it's Aurora armor, I think, and using a fire veil wand and like standing next to it, and don't actually hit it, because if you actually hit it then it will come after you, but it'll only go after the person who spawned it. So it's like a little like tag team thing. Let me show you guys the spot where you go to get for carries, or enderman carries. It's in the Zealot Bruiser hideout. Right down here. So whoever's getting carried, they stand up here, and the enderman just stands down there under them. And so yeah, basically that's how you do enderman carries. The reason for that is because the Slayer will go after the person who spawned it, no matter what, whether they hit them or not. And so the person who spawns it needs to get up there quickly. And then they also need to put on a mithril coat if they have not already, unless the person who's carrying is doing melee damage, which most people do not. So the reason for that is so that you don't get one shot by the beacons. And then for tier 3 and tier 4 carries, I advise having like really good storm armor and really good Hyperion, and yeah, basically that'll make it go very quickly and easily. Of course you can do melee, but you're gonna need like a Valkyrie, I think is what it's called. I don't know. I don't know. But it's another Wither's Blade craft, or Necron's Handle craft, sorry. So yeah, I don't actually know how effective it is, but apparently it's supposed to be really good. I looked at the stats and it didn't look really good, but I don't understand half the stats in this game, so yeah. Anyways, well, I think that is going to be it for today's episode. If I missed something, please tell me. I think I covered everything. And so, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!